Hot Toys Artisan Joker versus the InArt Joker. This is Hot Toys' first Artisan figure, and this is InArt's, first figure overall. But which is better? That seems to be the question everybody's trying to figure out, because not everybody has both figures, and some people are trying to decide whether to keep one or the other, or which one to buy. So let's take a quick look. And welcome back to Metamorphic Customs. I'm Desi, and today we're going to be taking a quick look at the Hot Toys Artisan figure versus the InArt, the InArt Joker figure. Hot Toys Artisan Joker, InArt Joker. Now, I will not be dissecting these. In other words, I will not be taking these apart. There are some small details that may get lost here, but I'm just going to give a general impression of this figure, just this figure. I know InArt, there's a 2-pack, right? And just this figure, its accessories. And let's start head to toe, okay? Starting at the face, the sculpt. Again, just to remind everyone, the Hot Toys Artisan is on my left, on your left as well. And the InArt is on the right, okay? The sculpt, I have to give it to Hot Toys. Why? They really exaggerate the textures. They've found a way to exaggerate facial textures and pores that really comes across well in 6 scale. Also, the profile on the Hot Toys ones just really reminds me of Heath in that movie. That is not to say that the sculpt in the InArt is bad in any way. It's actually excellent, and in its own way reminds me of Heath Ledger a lot as well. Perhaps it's just a different facial expression, but if you had to, and you made me choose, I'd have to go on sculpt alone with the Hot Toys one. Moving on to the hair, we'll start with the hairline. I have to say that the InArt hairline seems more accurate. Is it more accurate? I don't know. I'm just going by my memory of the character and looking honestly at a couple of pictures and watching the movie one more time before making this video. But the hairline, as in the shape of the hairline, looks a little better, I think, in the InArt version. However, the blend of from the face to the hairline looks much better, I think, in the Hot Toys version. And that is primarily because there seems to be a little bit of white paint going into the roots of the hair, which helps form a more natural blend or transition from that white face paint to the hair. Now, the actual hair, which is better? Both excellent. I'm going with InArt. If you look at the InArt again on the right, you can see, especially towards where the hair is parted, that the InArt one has more subtle, or maybe less subtle, color variation. So you can see the original blonde in the hair in the parting of the InArt one, whereas the Hot Toys one, you don't really see that blonde. It's greener. You can say, hey, he just dyed it here. That's fine. Both have highlights, green, different colored highlights. The overall green in the InArt seems like a more bright green, a more neon green. If you made me choose, again, I'd go with InArt, only because of that subtle color variation in the hair towards the roots where it parts. Moving on to clothes, first I'll talk about the weight and thickness. I gotta give it to InArt. It might be hard to see on this video, so I apologize, but the thinness of especially the inner shirt collar here towards the neck seems appropriate for 6 scale in the InArt one, where it appears to be much thicker on the Hot Toys Artisan, and it just doesn't look to scale on the Hot Toys Artisan. That's not to say it's bad on the Hot Toys Artisan. It's pretty darn good. They've come a long way. But overall, that little nitpick detail, if I had to pick, I'll go with the InArt. Same thing with the weight and thickness, again, of the other materials here. The outer coat and the inner coat, right? Again, much thinner, and even the vest is significantly thinner on the InArt one. And it seems, because it's thinner, it seems more to scale, more to 6 scale. The tailoring is still good on the Hot Toys Artisan, beyond good, it's excellent. But if I had to choose, because of thinness, I will go with Hot Toys Artisan, with InArt, because it seems more to scale to me. Staying with the clothes here, the purple outer coat, both great, right? The weathering on the outer coat seems a little bit more apparent on the Hot Toys Artisan, so I have to give weathering to the Hot Toys Artisan one. There is weathering here, however, because the weathering seems to be black or gray as opposed to like a light tan or brown, you see it more on the Hot Toys Artisan. But it's good on both, but weathering, I'll go with Hot Toys Artisan. And then the pants. The pants, I think, look good in both, right? They look good in both, but clearly a brighter purple on the Hot Toys Artisan and a much darker purple, almost leaning towards a dark gray on the InArt. So which is more accurate? Depends which picture you look at or which scene you see, what lighting, right? I've seen pictures where it looks purple like this, and other pictures of Heath in the movie where it looks dark and muted like this. Overall, colors, I think I'm going to have to go with InArt. The inner vest, the green, is also slightly more muted on the InArt one than the green on the Hot Toys Artisan. Shoes, the shoes on the Hot Toys Artisan one look like a brown color, and then with a darker brown wash, so maybe a tan with a dark brown wash. Whereas the colors on the InArt shoes, it looks like it was a dark gray, and maybe they sprayed it, airbrushed or sprayed it with lighter tans. They both look great. If I had to pick one, Hot Toys Artisan. Overall tailoring, again, I give it to InArt. Colors of the clothing, InArt, but that doesn't mean that the Hot Toys one is bad. Nowhere near it. It's still really, really good. Let's move on to accessories. So we're going to go with Hot Toys on the left, InArt on the right. I'll make this very simple. InArt wins. Their firearms are actual die-cast, and I will never pick something just because it's die-cast. Usually plastic is able to pick up more detail, and that's why I'm all about detail. But in this case, in the firearm specifically, because that's where the die-cast is, it just feels and looks better on the InArt one. The InArt one has the actual small text and logos from the weapon manufacturers. The InArt one has the Glock logo, while the Hot Toys Artisan does not have any kind of text or logos. And again, the InArt one has the logo on the grip as well as on the slide. Slide comes back really easily on the InArt one, works great. Normally the slide works really good on the Hot Toys pistols as well, but for some reason this one is, Jesus, it is the opposite of buttery smooth. It's like they filled it with day-old fudge. Okay. What is up with that? Also, there's no extractor. I don't know. Is that right? Anyways. The magazine for the Glocks. This is the extended magazines. Look at that color of that brass. This is also die-cast of that brass cartridge casing on the InArt one. Much brighter and probably more accurate. Definitely, I tell you that's more accurate. Unless he's been rubbing the bullets in dirt, which I guess the Joker would do for no reason. But again, much better there. Same thing with the grenades. Grenades on the InArt one are actual die-cast. They're metal. They're actually much smaller. You can tell. As far as sizing, I don't know which is right. To me, it almost looks like this is supposed to be right, but I could be wrong on that. But also, just like the weapons, the InArt, I don't know if you can see it, but the InArt grenades here have text and type on them. So let's look at the stacks of money, which are all over here. You can kind of see off to your right here. This is all the money you get, play money, Monopoly money you get with the InArt, and this is all the money you get with the Hot Toys. I don't really care. You don't need that much, right? But what I do care about, what's pretty cool, is that the InArt ones, all these smaller stacks, come with these individual wrappers, which really stand out, and to me, that makes it look cool. Whereas the Hot Toys, the 3 stacks, basically have a disposable plastic wrapper. Now, the Hot Toys one do have the bills that have they're defaced. They have the George Washington here has the red lips and black eyes from the Joker, whereas this one is just a $100 bill, right? Non-defaced. That's okay. I'm gonna pick this one. So overall, those are all, I know there's a lot more accessories, but I think that gets the point across. I'm only going to mention those. Overall, both are great. I'm going to go with InArt, mainly due to the die cast. Lastly, let's move over to the base. And again, we're just looking at these two bases. To me, overall, tie, right? The paint work on this surface, on the InArt one, is miles and leagues ahead of this. It looks like the Hot Toys base, the texture and the paint, it looks like, I don't know how to say it, but it looks like 720p, and this looks like 4K, just on the top of the base. Yes, there is the fact that the Hot Toys one has a light up feature. That's cool. I always like that. I don't have to use it, right? I think it's a little weird that it's a bat symbol in the middle of the street, but that's still cool. That's so cool. I'm never going to use it though, but still cool. Looking at the bottom there, it's upside down, but obviously if you care about the bottom, you're going to go with InArt, I think, right? It's got the details here. Overall, I like the InArt one better as far as painting goes, but this one has a lot of features, so I can't say that even for me, the InArt one wins, right? Because although it looks good, I agree with most people that magnetic base, the way they engineer oh god, no. Not cool. But I'm a sucker for paint and detail, right? So I'm gonna say that kind of ties it with the Hot Toys one. The Hot Toys one is still very cool despite the 720p, as I said. So it's a tie. And then a couple of last things I want to mention. If I had to pick this package, I'm going to go with Hot Toys. It's close for me. They're both excellent figures. But the reason I'm going to go with Hot Toys and I have to pick is because the Hot Toys has, in my opinion, slightly better face sculpt. Highly subjective. So, and that's such a big deal for me that I'm going to go with that. However, InArt one is freaking amazing. It is difficult for me to choose, and luckily I don't have to. Clearly, as you see, I am very lucky that I can have both. But still, picking. That's my choice if that's what if this is what I have to choose from. However, if I'm choosing between the Hot Toys Artisan and the InArt 2-pack, it's not fair. The InArt 2-pack is not apples to apples because it's two figures and it's significantly more expensive. However, if you made me choose, I'm going with the 2-pack. Presentation's a lot better. Yes, that box is huge and unruly or cumbersome, right? But that presentation, removing the straps when you first get it, all the accessories, and good God, that wood jail diorama base. I say wood because it's wood paneling here, and then the real metal bars. Like, geez, the whole package with the two figures and this is so amazing. Like, there's no way. Like, if you made me choose, I'm going with the 2-pack InArt. It's just spectacular. And the InArt has significant wins, not all wins, but significant wins over the Hot Toys one, where I would choose a 2-pack. Last thing I want to bring up, I should say, is the reason I have all these Jokers. One, it's like most people, they love this character and the late Heath Ledger's performance in the movie. That's why most companies make so many of these, because they're profitable and almost everyone likes them, and they will continue to make them as long as they sell. The reason I get it is because I like museum poses, slight poses here, and this is a good historical museum, right? Historical representation. InArt's first 6-scale figure, right? Queen Studios InArt, first ever 6-scale figure, did a heck of a job. Hot Toys' first Artisan figure that they made to compete with InArt. A lot of people will say they don't need to compete with InArt. They didn't do it to compete. They did. They clearly did, and good on them. Good on Hot Toys for doing it. They did an amazing job. They remain my, I think my favorite 6-scale figure company, despite everything. I'm collecting a lot of InArt now, but overall, Hot Toys has been around for so long. It's nice to have that historical account, right? First InArt, first Hot Toys Artisan, especially when you have this figure, which is Hot Toys' first DX. This is, I believe, well, not only the first DX figure, but also I believe this is the first time they introduced the PERS, the parallel eye rolling system, where the eyes turn inside the head. This was the figure to have when it first came out. It was basically the Artisan is the spiritual successor in my eyes to the DX line. The DX was really about all better packaging, better accessories, but mainly it was at those purrs, right? The eye rolling system. Whereas now everything, rightfully, it is now 2025, everything has purrs. The higher up line, the flagship line, I guess the Artisan, it's all about the rooted hair. But it was interesting to show this off. Note how the colors on the cloth match the InArt a little bit more than, right? Also, look at the face. It's cool to see the progression there, right? This was cream of the crop when it came out. What is it, 2009, maybe to 2010, maybe even 2011. This is a DX figure, but this was amazing. And look how far we've come. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. As always, please hit that like button. If you dislike this video and you feel that I've wasted your time and you can't get it back, please hit the dislike button because that helps me. I'd like to know if this is a waste of your time so I can pivot. I'd like to adapt. And whether you like it or dislike it, please hit that subscribe button and that bell notification so that you could be aware of any new videos I post, whether it's a quick figure review or a diorama. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Until then,